So today, I'm just going to get to it. There's something that has been on my mind and my heart as an advocate and as an employee, trying to create change for those of us with disabilities. And it's this notion that assumptions and afterthought are excusable simply because people aren't listening to youth and young adults with disabilities. And the thing that frustrates me is we have so many conversations floating around about diversity. And mind you, there are different types of diversity, so you can't just throw out the word diversity thinking you're covering all bases, because that is not true. There's racial diversity, there's gender diversity, there's all these different types of diversity, so you need to be specific. That's why definitions and words matter. But I get tired of hearing this word diversity when it is just a box for people to check and they're not considering the generations they are serving. You're not considering the millennials, the Gen Z, because of their age. When will this stop? This notion that youth and young adults have nothing to say, and that just because they have a disability, that notion is multiplied. When will we start listening to these individuals who have lived in their bodies with these illnesses and disabilities and medical conditions? When will we listen to their words and respond appropriately instead of assuming? Over the course of a couple days, I've been doing research on millennials and Gen Z because I am right on the line in terms of qualifying for either generation. And the thing that stands out to me is in church circles, in organizational circles, from a business standpoint, the thing that seems to be reverberating through all this research is that millennials and Gen Z are not engaging like they used to pre-pandemic. But we wonder why. Pre-pandemic, we had all these broken systems and structures in education, sports, business, church, and all of these arenas. And we expect that those broken systems pre-pandemic that were exacerbated in brokenness during the pandemic will be the same systems that work effectively and engage youth and young adults post-pandemic? You have got to be kidding me. When will we realize that the reason why those systems didn't work before the pandemic, that were only exposed during the pandemic, they're not working because we're not meeting people where they're at? If you say you want diversity and you want to bring change or reconciliation or serve people, but you're not meeting them where they're at, their most basic needs. You're not listening to the feedback that you're getting from surveys. You're not taking their accommodations seriously. You're not trying to build a relationship. You're just trying to meet a quota, and that bothers me. People have value. People have worth. People have emotions, and when you reduce them down to numbers, when you reduce them down to inconvenience, when you reduce them down to afterthought and excuses, that's when we're seeing this exacerbated symptomology from a pandemic, when the pandemic only exposed that. It showed us that the ways we engage with each other are not genuine in most ways. It showed us that the way we advocate for people, we make excuses for the processes that are inefficient in terms of advocating for people. We make excuses when we leave folks behind because they're not up to par when you never met them where they were. You never took time to evaluate all of the factors or the main factors in their development. So please do me a favor. If you are a leader in whatever capacity, please stop using the word diversity until you take time to assess what you really mean by the word diversity. Until you start assessing what your mission really is. If you are a teacher or an educator, stop saying that you're inclusive or that you're willing to accommodate and you have never sat down with your student. You only assumed what they needed. And I think it works both ways. As students, as youth and young adults, we have to be better about communicating what it is we need specifically and dealing with the parts of our heart and our brain that tell us we're an inconvenience just for bringing up something that will help us be on a level playing field in terms of equity. It's all around. We have to be better and meet each other where we at, but we cannot cry for diversity and we cannot pursue engagement and true change if this is not the crucial step that is taken. I hope that we see change in this area, but until we do, we're going to keep asking ourselves, why are millennials and Gen Zs and people with disabilities disengaging? Truth is, they were already disengaging. It's just now most of our eyes are open to it.